Welcome back to Sports Talk with Dad. As always, my name is Kyle, and I cannot call this Sports Talk with Dad without the man sitting next to me, a man so old he was there for the opening of the first ever golf course in the United States, my dad, Tim.
And I played with feathery golf balls probably too. Yeah, no, I wasn't there.
Do you know where the first ever golf course in the United States?
On the East Coast.
It was the East Coast, yes. What state?
I would guess New York or Massachusetts.
It is one of those two.
Go with New York.
It is New York in
On
1650.
On Long Island?
Albany, New York.
That's farther inland than I thought it would have been.
Played by Dutch settlers, often referred to as Colf with a K.
Huh.
But the first documented Scottish influence golf, which I don't know what anything but Scottish influence golf is, but do you know which state that was in?
Well, the Scottish were everywhere when they first came over here from, I don't know.
South Carolina.
Yeah.
Charleston, South Carolina.
Wow.
And then the first 9-hole golf course in the United States was West Virginia.
All right.
Links.
It's funny because I went down a YouTube bunny trail one night.
Surprise.
Yeah, I know. It's shocking to you. The Dutch, I think there's a claim that the Dutch really invented it over the Scottish. Scottish are not having none of that, by the way.
Of course not.
But
well,
anyway.
it is interesting because reading this, it says played by Dutch settlers.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Now I need to figure out exactly what Dutch golf is.
You do not want to go down that bunny trail.
What is it?
It's just the fight between them and the Scottish on who invented
Is it the same
golf.
sport?
Close.
Because everybody plays Scottish golf now.
Yes, and I agree with Robin Williams' description of Scottish golf.
Yes, there's a reason it's called a stroke.
Yes, it is. But it's been a couple years since I went down there. But
all right. Well, I know my plans for later tonight because I'm going to figure this out.
Okay. But before we get into golf, because it is Masters Week, my second favorite holiday of the year, third.
Okay.
Christmas, Easter, Masters Week.
Got it.
Anyways, we've got a bigger celebration, a bigger thing going on than even the Masters this weekend.
No, we don't. I don't want to talk about this.
Oh, yes, we will.
I don't want to talk
It's
about
the Frozen Four in Las Vegas. Wisconsin's men's team are playing in the Frozen Four.
Let's go, Sioux.
No, they are playing North Dakota in the semifinal. It's a tall hill to climb, but the Badgers will do it. And if they do, I will be insufferable next episode.
Badgers shouldn't have been in. Ohio State had the better record and the better wins. They got in because they're blue chip in the hockey world.
Hey,
first time in 16 years or something like that they've been to the Frozen Four, isn't it?
yes. And look, when I was growing up and in high school, there was a team called the Backdoor Badgers because they kind of backed into the tournament and won. This is right along those lines.
Yeah,
I'm not arguing with you about
they
that.
They can't win this.
They can.
Because you will be
insufferable.
Beyond insufferable.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Forever.
Because that would be the women's winning and the men's winning.
Yeah, Ohio State's not in this one, and I still don't want Wisconsin to win. Because I don't want to hear it.
I really do.
I don't want to be the hockey state all over the place because you're going to buy all the memorabilia. You're going to have all this stuff. I know how this is going to go.
I
didn't even look. Okay,
I didn't do it this week, but I will probably have a Badger hockey jersey on next week because they will have won.
They're not going to win. There's no way they're beating. Who do they have to face if they beat North Dakota?
The second semifinal is Denver versus Michigan.
Yeah, good luck. I don't want Michigan to win either. Go Denver, go North Dakota. If it's Wisconsin, Michigan in the finals, I don't know who to cheer for. I'll have to cheer for Wisconsin.
Yes.
But I can't cheer for Wisconsin because you're obnoxious.
If it's Wisconsin, Denver, that's like an old WCHA type thing.
That goes way back.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't Duluth in this as well at some point?
Minnesota, Duluth was in it.
I think Minnesota was in it too.
They absolutely were. North Dakota obviously was in it.
They're still in it.
And they're still in it, and
they're playing the Badgers. Yeah.
And I think another Colorado, I don't know if it's Colorado College or something, but they were in as well.
It. As soon as Ohio State got screwed over by not getting into the tournament.
They did not get screwed over. Wisconsin's a better team, and they belong.
Look at the camera and say that with a straight face that Wisconsin belonged in the tournament more than Ohio State.
They belong in the tournament more than Ohio
You're
State.
a liar. You're a liar. If
But
you
they're
look
there.
at the records,
And they won.
I hate you.
And they won. And they are in the Frozen Four.
That's what's more obnoxious. They don't belong in, and they're still winning.
I went to the Frozen Four when they were in Tampa. It is a great weekend. And it is a great
Where is it
weekend of
this
hockey.
year? You said Vegas, right?
Vegas.
Yeah.
Yep.
So women's was Penn State.
Yes, and thank God we still won. And I've got our hockey friend Spotto will be out in Las Vegas. It's his responsibility to get the Badgers to win. But it was a great time.
Spotto with North Dakota stuff, just for me.
Don't think he will.
No, I don't either.
All right, let's get to the real event this weekend because I love this weekend. I already geeked out watching the par 3 tournament today, which is a lot of fun.
Tomorrow it starts. They took a picture with the now three members of the Grand Slam Club.
Tiger is still a member of that club. He wasn't there because he's getting
treatment.
He's getting taken care of his health.
It is. I hope that Tiger is there next year so they can get the picture with the four of them with Jack still around. Looking at Jack Nicklaus this year, obviously the health is starting to fade. He has a cane now. He's getting older.
It's going to be
how old is he now?
85 or 6.
Okay.
And I was watching
Gary Player will live forever.
He's 90 and he's still playing in the par 3 today.
Yeah.
I was watching a Nick Faldo video and he was telling stories from last night, which were good. At one point, apparently the cane Jack is using, Trevor Immelman is walking with a limp today because he put a cane on his foot and Trevor couldn't get away.
Oops.
My favorite line so far has been when they asked Rory about the food and they said, why didn't you have more Irish food? And Rory said, because I want to enjoy it and I want everybody else to enjoy it.
Irish food's not the best.
No.
I don't even know what Irish food really is because
like
haggis is Scottish.
Yes.
Not Irish.
And that's disgusting as well. It's like corned beef and cabbage, which is just awful. Awful.
Now I'm curious because we went to Irish Fest and they served haggis and I was really upset because this.
Oh. It's a lot of potato stuff.
All right. I'm looking this up. Hearty, locally sourced comfort. Okay, that doesn't answer. Potatoes, lamb, beef, dairy, so the same thing everybody else eats.
Yeah. It's just.
They have a cold cannon, mashed potatoes mixed with cabbage or kale, seasoned with butter and onions.
That sounds disgusting.
Traditional potato pancake.
Those
Dublin
are good.
Coddle. I want this. A mixture of sausages, bacon, onions, and potatoes. Soda bread. I've had that. That's not great.
No.
Bacon and cabbage is Irish food. Seafood chowder. Chowder. Can't speak today with salmon.
Yeah, no.
Full Irish breakfast. All right. I'm in on Irish food. I'm all for it. I don't want the bacon and cabbage.
I don't want any cabbage.
The rest of it, I'm all in.
Your grandfather loved cabbage. No.
I'm good.
Yeah, it's not good. I think the closest thing I've ever had to real Irish food is when your mom used to make that potato and hamburger mashed potato casserole.
Mashed potato casserole.
That was really good.
It was really good. Very salty, which it needed to be.
Well, I didn't remember it being salty, but it was good. I don't know.
It was perfect. I can't make that now because my oldest son doesn't like potatoes. I'm going to make it anyway. That sounds good.
Your oldest son is wrong.
He doesn't like potatoes. He's coming around. He's at least trying it now.
He's eating French fries, which is a good thing.
Deep fried potatoes.
Yeah. Well, hard not to like those.
It's very true. But something else is happening in golf, and it's not happening this year at the Masters, but in 2020.
Yes. Before we do that, who do you think is going to win this weekend? I mean, Rory's going to try to repeat. Scotty Scheffler's back. I think Justin Rose, who finished second last year, I'd like to see him win. He seems like a cool dude.
I mean, Scotty's been playing out of his mind, so I got to assume he's going to be the leader. I think it's Scheffler versus the field. I don't think any of the live guys are going to make a run for it. I think
Bruce Koepka's come back, and he's playing a full schedule, so he's playing 72-hole events.
I would like to see Koepka make a run at it to prove, like, if you actually play all 4 days of a golf tournament consistently, that you'll play better, because we've seen it consistently since the live started, that The fourth day, you start to see him fall off in the majors.
DeChambeau obviously wants this one desperately.
He does. I think he's going to fall off after the third day.
Do you know who his caddy was today for the par 3?
No.
Kevin Hart.
Of course it was. I think that's a problem with DeChambeau too. Like, he stays focused on golf, which is great, but he's making so much money on YouTube side of things now.
He's a golf celebrity.
It's hard to stay focused on. He does it though. He competes in tournaments. I watched the Live tournament. They have it on Fox.
I can't watch him.
It was terrible.
Yeah, it's awful.
It was loud. They were shooting fire out of something on a special hole, and it was like, this is ridiculous.
Well, and Koepka said as much. He goes, I'm revitalized. It is so good to be back playing real golf again.
Yeah. It's a clown show over there.
It is. Look, it did what they wanted to do. They gave a needle to the PGA, which has now been, who knows what it's going to look like in 10 years.
Right.
But we don't have to worry about any of that this weekend because it's Augusta, and Augusta runs everything. We've got 4 new members, some business owners, like 3 business owners, and Eli Manning is now a member of Augusta National.
Is he really?
I didn't realize Peyton has been a member since 2016. So
I didn't know that either.
I didn't either.
Well, I know Condoleezza Rice is a member. She's the only member I've ever known because it was this big deal.
Oh, yeah. It was huge. And she was on last weekend with the women's amateur that was there. She was front and center for that whole thing. It's the most exclusive club. All I know is if you ask how to join, you are never going to join.
You're blacklisted.
Yes, forever. And they only have 300 members. I mean, that's everybody's dream round. And
yeah, just to play it once.
The way they manage it, that course is immaculate.
We were talking about this, and this is, I know we have other stuff to talk about here, but since you brought this up, the conversation of, if you're playing on Augusta, I understand playing every single shot, right? If you play on Augusta or any of these top 100 courses, take your sweet time, use the caddy, try and play the best round you can. If you're on a local course, pick up the ball.
Yes, well, speaking of rules, apparently it's now the rule that if your ball, even on the tour, if your ball lands in a divot, you get a drop. Which
that should have been a long time ago. What was that tournament you and I were watching where it was a mean dog leg and the only play was to lay up in this fairway area before the left?
I don't remember which one it was, but
the last day of the tournament, it was so chewed up that it's like, how do you not land in a divot? Well, I think that's what started the conversation for a lot of people.
This hasn't been an issue for me because if I land in a divot, that divot is someplace it never should have been, and my ball, it grabbed my ball and brought it in. I'm not playing it there. And
I'm not playing out of a divot.
And that's just it. We've got to realize there is a Grand Canyon of difference between what they're playing in Augusta and what you, me, and the rest of the human beings play week to week.
Listen, I play from the blues and don't shoot very well. I don't pretend to be a good golfer. I'm not a good golfer. I just go out for fun.
And that's what
But you and I have been paired up with people.
Oh.
That we got to play by every single rule. And they hate us.
Yeah.
Because I definitely don't play that game. Who is that one guy we paired up with? A younger guy who's like, goal was to be in the PGA apparently, and played worse than I did.
Yeah.
And that boggles the mind.
He's never going to get to the PGA.
But he was talking about, I had a shot that was laying someplace near a tree. I don't remember what it was, but I'm like, I'm not playing this shot. It was like on next to a tree stump. I would have snapped my club in half.
Yeah, you would have destroyed your club.
And so I just kicked it out and hit the ball. And he's like, well, that's a stroke. And I was like, good thing I'm not keeping score.
Yeah.
And like, you can keep it. And he was keeping score for us. I was like, mark it on whatever scorecard you want. I don't care.
And he asked at the end, do you want your score? No. I don't.
Wasn't playing to keep up. You win.
I took up golf in my late 20s, and I wanted to just be good enough to play in scrambles because business takes place on a golf course.
It does.
And so
also my goal.
Yeah. And I think that's what most people should be. That if you're out there, you'll hit a good shot in a round that's just enough to bring you back to abuse yourself some more.
Yep.
And that's all I've ever been. I mean, there was a while I really tried to get better and I did okay, but I still wasn't a good golfer.
You were a 10 handicap. Less than that, actually.
I think I got down to a 9 at one point. and that was on a regular little community course. So a lot different than going to Whistling Straits, but
Right.
it was still nice. But I'm not going to play golf that competitively. I don't want to play in a league. And that part of it is because I played tennis competitively for years and years. I just don't want to put myself through that anymore. I just want to have fun.
Golf is hard enough than putting pressure on yourself to try and win. I can't putt. Like, I can get it on in 2. I'll get off in 5.
We're going to try to find you a new putter.
We've tried. How many putters have I had? I read the green perfectly. I know where the ball is going to go. I just can't hit it there.
It's funny because I've had the same putter for 25 years, a Ping Pal 2 nickel that I bought years and years ago. And if I use a different putter, it gets in my head like I'm cheating on my old putter.
Yeah.
And I can't putt it at all. It screws up the whole game. I saw one online called Spoiler Golf. And their putters are guaranteed to give you a true roll. We'll talk about that more later. But we'll find you a putter that works.
Sure.
Maybe.
I'd be better off just kicking it.
This is something that golf needs to do. And Jack Nicklaus has been wanting this for decades, actually, to roll back the golf ball for the professionals.
2028, it is official. They are rolling back the golf ball. In 2030, they're rolling it back for amateurs as well, which I think they have to do. It's going to take 15 to 30 yards off of their shots.
Off the pros?
Off the pros.
Which I think is good because it's going to bring a lot of the old-time courses back into being able to be used.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of this has to do with the course in Pennsylvania. What am I thinking of? That they played the U.S. Open.
Is it Marion?
I don't remember.
I don't know.
They're playing like
the one you're talking about.
10 U.S. Opens there in the next 15 years.
Oakmont?
Oakmont. It is the one. Because Oakmont was, tough course on how you have to play, but it's not as long as some of the other courses you see out there. And this is going to bring Oakmont and make it a much more challenging course. I think it's smart that you have to do this amateurs as well. If you're doing Corn Ferry or anything like that, you have to roll it back for that side as well.
Sure, but if for you and me, give me a ball that's going to fly.
I'm not good enough to be an amateur.
Put a super ball in my golf ball.
I'm with you. Amateurs, I don't mean you and me. I'm talking about amateur golfers.
Well, any kind of tournament golf.
Any kind of tournament golf, it makes sense. Especially like college and stuff as well. You have to start playing with these. Because if you're like on the Corn Ferry Tour, right, and you're trying to get to the professional tour, that would be like playing with a metal bat in the minor leagues, and then you get to the pros and it's a wood bat. It's just a different ball game.
If you're good enough to play in a U.S. amateur or even a Midwest state of Wisconsin amateur,
play with those balls.
Play with the rollback balls.
I'm with you. For me, I want to go out there and hit a Super Ball.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not good enough to compete. I don't care. You know what's going to happen, and it's based off of what we just talked about.
Yes, it is.
There's going to be people out there. I'm going to go with my Vice super long ball, that I'm ready to hit, and they're going to be playing with some tailor-made new ball or Titleist, whatever it is, and they'll be like, well, yeah, you outdrove me, but
that's an illegal ball.
That's an illegal ball.
Good.
And I'll say, you can play ahead.
Yeah.
If you really want to.
All this is going to mean, I play for the White Tees now because I'm not as long as you anymore. And, in another 5, 10 years, I'll be up in the Gold Tees and just trying to have fun. Even if you use one of these balls, you may have to play from the white instead of blue. You've got to know your tees that you play from. It's like when we went and played the Bull. If we would have played the Bull from the tips, it wouldn't have been fun for anybody.
No.
And we were by ourselves. We didn't have anybody else playing with us that day. But who wants to hit a ball, your drive, and still be 250 yards out from a par 4? And if you think that's exaggerating, not on some of these really long courses.
It's not. I want to get as close as I can. I want to have, on a par 5, I want to have a 6 to 5 iron in. On a par 4, I want to have a 7 to a wedge in, and I'm a happy camper.
Yeah.
What I don't want is exactly what you said. I'm playing from the tips with these. Like, I'm not good enough for that. One, I'm never playing from the tips. I'm just not that good. Because I'll hit the driver, and then I'll chunk the wedge.
I told you I played at Black Wolf Run the River, and it was right after the Women's U.S. Open, and I was playing with some idiots who thought they were God's gift to golf and the next pro tour superstars, and they wanted to play from the blacks. I said, I'm not playing from the blacks. I'm not good enough. We played from the blues, and there was a 230-yard carry over a swamp. I'm like, what am I doing here? And that's when I could still hit the ball decently.
Yeah.
I got over by about less than a foot.
Yeah.
It got over, and it rolled a little bit. No one was more shocked than I was to find my ball. And I went and played, and it's like, apparently Paul Azinger, a former pro, had played that course. And he said, pros can't even play this thing from the blacks. Get rid of these tees because it's just ridiculously long. And that's a great course. I'm not good enough to play Whistling Straits. I don't think I'd have fun playing Whistling Straits.
Oh, I would. Not with how much money you have to drop on Whistling Straits.
If I was paying the $1,500, which includes,
I wouldn't. I could have played
the caddy fees, the tips, whatever. I
could play the greatest round of my life. I could shoot a 67 on Whistling Straits, but if I know I paid $1,500 for a round of golf, I wouldn't have a good time.
Exactly.
To me, I'm not good enough to play those courses. I'm not. If I get invited and they're like, "Hey, why don't you come? You just pay for your caddy." I'm like, yeah, then I'm there.
And they should, by the way, if you'd like to invite us, we'd love to see the course. We'll come out.
Love to play.
Yeah, we'll come and play.
We'll have a good time.
And that goes for Pebble Beach as well.
It goes for any of them. Like, we'll be there, but definitely not good enough to play any of them.
But we'll have fun while we're there.
It's a fun sport. I mean, the big thing is these new balls, I'm already annoyed on what we're going to start to see on golf courses with people, because they're going to come out with balls for you and I, right? Yeah. Hit like the pros. Hey, I hit a 250-yard drive. That's great. Yeah, I needed an extra ball. I mean, I can hit a 300-yard drive. For you, it's about 150 with a supersized ball, but it would be really cool.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be more people like the idiots we played one time. We're on the green, and it's a raised green, and some idiots are about 150 yards away, and they hit into us from 150 yards out. Anybody who's just taking up the game can get lucky and hit a ball that far.
Yeah, I was about in a fist fight.
Well, I fired the ball back at him.
Yeah.
I'm just like, we're not.
It's like, oh, he's an amateur. He just started. He can't hit the ball that far. He's hitting a 7-iron.
Right. And we're on the green. You can see us.
He gets a hold of that thing. And yeah, he can hit a 7-iron 150 yards.
The one whistled right behind you.
Yeah.
And it's
like, what are we doing, guys?
That's why
golf is a crazy sport, but it is a lot of fun.
And I can't wait I will be parked in front of the TV all weekend.
Yeah, and this is why you shouldn't play golf with us, by the way. We're very grumpy old men. Bad idea.
No, we have fun.
We have fun. I don't know if the people that play with us have fun.
They say they do.
I think they're lying. Or they're drinking.
I just refuse to take it seriously. I'm not going to play out of a divot.
No.
If my ball is up against a tree, it's getting moved.
Yeah.
I will tell you that right now. We are the amateurs.
Yes. We can play with terrible golfers. I did play with people that were nervous to go out because it's their first time. Like, guys, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, let's just go have some fun. We're not keeping score. We're just hitting the ball. If you get 2 shots off the tee and then we move on, like, who cares?
And the people that are saying, well, how are you going to measure yourself against the pros?
I'm not.
I'm not as good as they are.
I'm not trying to be great at golf. I'm just trying to go out and have fun. Exactly. I am walking this year, though. I've made the decision. I got the push cart because my back can't carry the bag
one that
anymore.
Kids are riding around on?
The one that the kids stole and turned into a Pokemon carrier? Yeah, that's the one.
Okay.
Yeah, it needs to go in my trunk so they quit playing with it. But new things are happening right now. The Trop has opened back up.
We're going to
Field.
We're going to talk baseball. Okay.
We're going to talk baseball.
Yeah, I've already been in one. I've been called bad names online because I've seen the pictures of it, and they're saying we sold out opening day. There was 25,000 people there. The top was not open. You didn't sell out anything. And oh, by the way, the Trop is still a dump.
They brought the Rays back though.
Well, they're going to be there until the new stadium.
No, I mean the real ones.
Oh, the Stingrays out in the pool?
Yeah.
I hope they clean the pool for them.
I hope so too.
I mean,
they got it done. I got to say, I didn't think they were going to get it done.
I didn't think so either. They got it done. They got the field playable. The Ted Williams batting Hall of Fame is probably still there. That was the best part of that stupid stadium. I mean, it's not even a good AAA ballpark.
Their spring training facility is nicer.
Yes. Yeah. They downgraded from playing at the Yankee spring training
They
field.
definitely did.
And
But what's going to be interesting, though, is speaking of the Yankee spring training, they got a piece of land right next to it. It was already given to them,
Hillsborough Community College.
and everybody's freaking out.
Of course they are.
And now the city's fighting it. The Buccaneers are like, it's going to look great. What are we getting?
We want to get a Super Bowl again. And they've already been told, unless there's stadium upgrades, no more Super Bowls in Tampa.
Yeah.
So I can see where they want to do that. I don't agree with building a dome for them.
They will build a dome, though.
At some point, but this one's going to be the first one, and it will be a dome because in Tampa, you have to have a dome, as they proved last year.
Right.
They drew 25,000 for their first opening day.
It'll be the most they've ever sold.
They will get back to their 8,000 and 10,000 again because it's still in a bad location.
Yep.
Here's my thing. I think, and I know baseball vehemently disagrees with me. They've experimented with baseball in Florida with the Marlins and the Rays.
Both failed.
Baseball in Florida has failed.
Yep.
There's too much other things to do.
Yes.
You're never going to see a team in Orlando. And that was one person who was upset with me going, oh, we would draw. No, you won't. Orlando is there for tourists. You cannot build a fan base on tourism, as the A's are finding out in Vegas right now. It's just not big enough. Orlando is there for the mouse and for Harry Potter.
Well,
that's what kids
technically,
go
the
for.
mouse is about 45 minutes north of Orlando, if we're being fair.
It's considered Orlando. It's just like
It's Kissimmee.
Hammond, Indiana is considered Chicagoland.
It's definitely not. Those are two very different things. But with with the Rays' new stadium possibly being in trouble,
Oh, it's not in trouble. It's going to get done.
the Bears stadium may be in trouble.
Bear Stadium is not in trouble. It's going to get done in one of two places.
The question is where. So a deadline has been officially given to the state of Illinois, and especially Cook County, of May 31st, where they have to decide if they're going to allow the Bears to negotiate directly with Arlington Heights for property taxes. That's what they're asking.
They want like a 40-year agreement on what
They want
the tax is going to be.
exactly a 40-year deal where they get to negotiate. Bears are putting a deadline on it because they say building cost rises $150 million every single year by their estimate, which I don't think is too far off.
I don't either.
I don't know why they're even giving Illinois another chance at this. You just got a sweetheart deal from Indiana, Hammond, which is right next to where Soldier Field
Less
is.
than 20 minutes away from Soldier Field.
Right.
And there's a rail line there.
There is. I mean, it's all set up perfectly.
Except that it's on the south side.
No property taxes.
It's on the south side.
Free stadium.
It's on the south side.
All revenue goes to the Bears after the stadium is paid back.
It's on the south side. And that's the problem with it. They want to be on the north side.
They do want to be on the north side,
Which is where the Arlington Heights property
which
is.
is where all the money is, on the north side.
Yes.
And they're nervous if they build on the south side, people aren't going to come.
They'll still come. Because
They
they're going
will.
to get a Super
I think it's going to
Bowl.
revitalize that area
I do too.
completely.
I do too, because it's going to be an entertainment district.
And people are looking for places to move. Are you telling, like, if you work in Chicago, right? And you're telling somebody, hey, you can live in Indiana and pay Indiana taxes in this new nice area and then commute to Chicago, guess what people are going to do?
Well, this
Just that.
This is the biggest chance to revitalize not only Northwest Indiana, but South Chicago,
Right?
because this is going to be a huge development.
It is. Businesses are going to come. I think more Indiana's going to be developed than Chicago,
Sure.
honestly. And that's why the mayor is fighting so hard to not only keep them there, but to keep them basically right next to Soldier, which is never going to happen.
They still owe, okay, it was a $600 million remodel back in 2003 for Soldier.
Right.
They still owe $550 million of that dollars.
Yeah.
It's never going to happen on the lakefront because, not just because there's no place to build it, but you've got to deal with the city of Chicago. You've got to deal with the Chicago Park District, and you have to deal with the EPA because it's in Lake Michigan, which is a protected waterfront. It would be 10 years from the moment they decide to do it, 10 years to get any approvals.
Right.
Not going to happen. Arlington Heights still might happen.
I don't think it's going to. I don't think they're going to pass this legislation. And if they pass this legislation and the Bears say, great, we're going to build our own stadium here now, why? Why? I mean, they were obsessed with being in Arlington Heights. Obsessed with it.
Well, that's why they bought the property. I think some of this has to do with the fact the McCaskey family has kind of an inferiority complex because their grandfather didn't want them to have the team, but they ended up with the team. And so they're trying to throw Illinois a bone because if they go to Indiana, oh, the McCaskies moved us to Indiana, and they'll get bad publicity. So what?
I don't think they really will. Because everybody understands what's happening with Arlington Heights right now. And the Bears have completely taken themselves out of the running. Or not the Bears. The Chicago has completely taken themselves out of running for a stadium. You got this great deal from Indiana. It's what Indiana's been waiting for in that area because it's going to completely revitalize an area that has been terrible.
It's awful. It is so economically depressed, and it has been for years and years, ever since car manufacturing and steel, whatever, went out of that area. There's nothing there.
There's not. And so people can look at this from Indiana and say, well, why would you give a team a stadium and all this stuff? Because you have to revitalize an area that, like you said, has just been destroyed. You need something to come in there that's going to draw people in there, make people want to be there, and bring business back to the area. And without the Bears going there, it's never going to happen.
No. And my only fear is that Pritzker, the governor of Illinois, is going to try to work a backdoor deal to get him approved for Arlington after saying for months and years, we aren't going to be giving them any kind of sweetheart deals. There's no money available until there is, because that's exactly what they did with the White Sox when they built that dump of a stadium they've got now, when they were about ready to move to Tampa Bay back in the late 90s.
Right.
They're going to try to pull something off because it's what Illinois does.
Yeah.
I just hope the Bears stand. I heard one interesting argument. This was from an announcer in New York who said, yeah, ever since they moved to New Jersey, the feel of the stadium's just not there. Number one, she wasn't there the last time they played in New York because it was 1976. I think the Jets played there for a little bit longer. But everybody's used to it now. If the teams win, there's a lot of excitement. It's no big deal to go to New Jersey. You're not going to get a state, for the same reason, you're not going to get a brand new football stadium in New York. Can't be done. And in Chicago, it's not going to be on the lakefront.
No.
They're going to try to pull something out of at the last second to get them in Arlington Heights, which I think would be really crappy of the Bears to do, considering what they're getting in Indiana. I just don't think it's good for the franchise long term. You've got such a great deal in Hammond.
You do.
Take it and run.
Not only that, they're giving you land where you can develop and basically build your own area. The same thing, the Packers built Titletown, and since then you're seeing a lot of teams start to build out. That's what the Chiefs are doing right now with their new stadium. It's what Tennessee is doing with their new stadium in Nashville. They're starting to build out these areas, so it's you come there not just for the game, but you also stay after the game.
Right.
So it's a whole venue now. And the Bears have a chance to build that. And the Bears have a chance to revitalize a complete area. Screw Chicago. Like, they've had every chance to fix this.
And the stupidest thing I've heard was, well, would they change their name? Hammond, Indiana is Chicagoland. It's been Chicago.
I will call them the Hammond Bears forever.
You will do it just to stick it to the Bears, and I understand that and respect that.
The same way I call them the Arlington Heights Bears if they move to Arlington Heights.
Correct. They're not going to be the Chicago Bears anymore.
No.
And if they put
the New Jersey Jets and the New Jersey Giants.
And if you put a dome on their stadium, they're not going to be the monsters of the Midway. They're going to be the mouses of the Midway because they have to play indoors where the weather is controlled instead of being a real players and going and playing outside where it belongs.
If I am the Bears, I build a dome stadium with a retractable roof and make a rule for every home game That roof is open no matter what.
That will never, ever happen.
It won't, but that's what I would do.
I would love to see it.
Because you need a dome, because you want to run concerts and stuff
Well, you want
there.
the Super Bowl.
You want the Super Bowl. You want concerts in the wintertime. I mean, concerts in Soldier Field are great. You can only do them in the summertime. This gives you a chance to do it all year long.
Again, it's an entertainment district that people will be there and live there all year round.
Right. But you got to have the roof open for football games.
You should.
And they won't. It's going to give the Packers a huge advantage when people come to Lambeau Field. There will be 2 remaining stadiums.
Buffalo and Green Bay.
That's it.
Well, no, Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh and then New York. But I think New York's going to put a dome on it at some point. When they build their new stadium, it'll be domed.
And by the way, Dallas doesn't play in Dallas either. They play in Arlington. So
Fort Worth, right?
No, Arlington.
Who plays in Fort Worth?
Nobody.
Shows what I know.
Nobody. Fort Worth is like Dallas Light.
Are you sure they don't play in Fort Worth?
They play in Arlington. That's where Jerry's house is. He's looking it up.
You can keep talking. I'll look this up.
I'm going to have to. Where's it at? So
I'm looking at it right now.
Okay.
Where do the Cowboys play?
And by the way, for the people calling for the Packers to have a Super Bowl, stop it. It's never going to happen.
Dude, we can barely see.
They got their bone when they got the draft.
And the only reason they just supported the draft is because many locals that were there.
Yes.
Or people that knew people that lived there.
People did not, this was not a massive surge like it was when it was in Nashville, where people from all over the country went. That was local support.
Right.
And good for the people in the area, including us, for going there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wanted to say you're right, Dan?
You and I have had a great show. But as you all know, you cannot have a conversation with your father without your dad getting the last word. So it is all you.
So the Masters is going to be great this weekend. But my bigger thing is it's the Frozen Four. The University of Wisconsin Badgers are going to win the men's hockey title just so I can be insufferable to him the entirety of the next show. So go Badgers, win this weekend, bring home the NCAA championship.
Let's go, Sue. Thank you, as always, so much for watching. This is Sports Talk with Dad. See you next time.
Bye, everybody.